All right, guys, welcome back. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. We are going to do a review of, and I'm sorry, I just have a sample of this. It's fine. Of the, you can't see it, obviously. It's the Wollersheim. I got it. I hope I got it. Wollersheim Distillery, Wisconsin straight bourbon whiskey from Lost Lantern. This is a single barrel, or whatever they call a single barrel, single cask series. This is distilled and aged in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. Alcohol by volume 65.6. You know we're going to get into that, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm sure it is. I mean, it's a little sample, but let's get into it. All right, guys. So my computer is telling me that my battery is low, and so I need to make this quick. I love you guys, and thank you so much for tuning back in. And what do you think of that intro? That's a pretty awesome intro, isn't it? Thank you, Jerm from Freedom Malts, for doing that. So I just did a podcast recently with Lost Lantern, and they sent over a sample pack, and it had this sample in it. And I tried a little bit of it, and I thought, man, that's really good. But at the same time, I was like, I need to give it a fair shake. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it a fair shake. Anyway, I wanted to give them a fair shake, and I wanted to give them their own episode because Wisconsin whiskey is really intriguing to me. I know that Jerm from Freedom Malts, who made the intro, gave me a bunch of samples of some really cool Midwest whiskeys. And some other ones, obviously, because we're whiskey nerds and that's what we like to do. So let's get into it. I don't know what to look at other than I know that Midwest whiskeys in themselves, I will have all the specs of it up here somewhere. I'm telling you what, I'm running through these episodes, through these videos, and future me, a couple days from now or whatever, is going to have a hard time. He's going to have to edit a lot. So keep that in mind. Because I really want to know the grain mash bill and stuff like that, but you guys will know it up here. I'm going to see if I can't pick it out on the nose. Let's get into it. Now, this is 65%, right? 65.6%. So it's a hot mama. It's 51% corn for sure. I'm joking. That was stupid. I'm sorry. Dude, this is so nice. It really is. The one thing that I get with a lot of the Midwest whiskeys that I've had, which I've had, from that sample pack, I've had a couple. It's very creamy and velvety and just, I use the word unctuous, which means like just melt in your mouth, like really nice, viscous, At 65, I mean, this thing ain't even making legs yet. It's not. It's literally sitting on the glass. It's barely starting to trickle down. So it's some oily stuff. On the nose, I'm not, let me get into it, but it's a fiery lad. I gotta go way up here. But it's giving me like not grassy. It's not grassy at all. It's more like whenever we have donkeys. I know you've probably heard them in some of our our shows. Whenever you're moving the hay around and it's like moist and dank. I'm going to say dank for a lack of a better word. I'm a whiskey professional. I should have good words to talk about whiskey, right? But dank is what comes up. It's very like dank hay, dusty. It's very dusty. So I'm thinking it's a higher corn percentage, maybe 75. You'll know already. I just recently said on another episode, on another video that I did, that when I drink whiskey, I do when I'm trying to understand the whiskey. I do that a lot. It's like a thing that I do, and I'm sorry. You just have to deal with that. Um, I didn't really get a good thrift of it because I started talking. The heat comes over. The heat is there. I took a drink of water, kind of cleanse my palate. Now I'm going to go back. So basically what I did is I reset my palate to where I can come at this with a full breath of my... Okay, so now on the nose, retronasally, because you leave your mouth open a little bit when you smell, right? You do, right? It has some rye, a hint of rye to it. I'm gonna look stupid if it doesn't have rye in it, but wow. I can't give a whole lot on it. Like I wanted to open up a little bit more, and it's tight. It's real tight right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink another drink, and I'm gonna add a touch of water to it, just a touch. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Since I didn't talk on that one, there is this creamy... Have you ever had a ricotta cheese that is like in a dessert? Think about that for a second. Ricotta dessert. It's sweet, but yet it's a little bit like, not funky. I don't want to say funky. It's not funky, but it has a little bit of like when you eat sourdough bread. I'll throw this out there because my wife makes sourdough bread. It has a taste to it, a sourdough taste. This almost has that similar taste. It's not the same as sourdough. Don't think it's sourdough. They didn't do a sourdough starter that I know of. They didn't do a sourdough starter in this or anything like that. It just has that taste of like slight of fermentation, maybe. Maybe it's a taste of fermentation, which as a whiskey nerd, I enjoy. I really like it. I'll have the age and everything of it up here. Wow. I added a little bit of water, probably 3 drops, 3 drops of water and this much whiskey. So, I brought it down to 50% maybe. It's fiery right now. I need to let it sit for a second. I might have to pause and reset because I don't want to give the wrong impression of it. I would love to have Wollersheim, Wollersheim, on my show to talk about what they do and the things that they do, because so far I'm enjoying the dram for sure. Let me pause and then I'll let that breathe for a minute and I'll come back. All right, so I'd like to sit for probably 10 minutes. Drink a bunch of water, trying to cleanse my palate so I can go into it and give it the full thrift. It is opening a feed sac. That dust that hits you in the face, that to me is a typical bourbon nose, which I enjoy a lot of. Am I talking too softly? I'm sorry if I am. I'm not trying to. So if you breathe, this is a weird thing. If you breathe into the Glencairn, breathe out through your nose into the Glencairn, it pushes the ethanol out, makes the ethanol go away so that you can go get in there and smell what's actually going on. Man, that nose is... It has notes in it that I can't comprehend. I really can't. Here's the deal. I'm going to taste it, obviously. That's stupid. That really is. Okay. It is not typical Kentucky bourbon. No, it's not. But it is so, how do I say this? It is so different in its complexity that it makes you like, I want to go back for another drink already. Like it has this like lingering, like not spice. It's not a spice. It's almost like if you've ever had like a bitters. Okay. So it's like, it almost acts like it has bitters in it. I don't know. I mean, that's just me right now for today. It almost acts like it has bitters in it. And so like it's not bitter. It's not bitter in its taste, but it acts like it has something added to it, which it doesn't, obviously. It is, straight bourbon whiskey, Wisconsin straight bourbon whiskey. That's it. I mean, it's nothing but that. And I'm not throwing shade on them at all. Like that's just what I'm getting. Like it almost has like a cocktail type taste to it, which adding a drop of water to it just kind of opened that up a little bit. I know that Lost Lantern presents it at cask strength, which is amazing because if I want to put water in this dram, the next dram I have, I might not put water in. I might try it at its full strength. But right now, it's presenting not as an old fashioned, but maybe as a whiskey with a little bit of not even Angostura bitters, maybe almost maybe a Peychaud's bitters, where it's a little bit not briny. It has a little salinity to it. To me, again, these are all my notes, and I'm not expecting you to get those notes on this at all. Okay, let me have one more dram. Wow, it is a ride. It is a wow. It continues on and on and on. It's changing. It went from cocoa to like toasted marshmallow to s'more, which cocoa, s'more, toasted marshmallow. You get what I'm saying. But now it's sitting on a graham cracker. It's the graham. It is a s'more. It is a start to finish s'more. That's what it is. And that's why I couldn't pick it out really, because like I don't do s'mores. Like I like all of the components of a s'more. I just don't like them together. I especially love the fiery charred bits. Like when I make a s'more, that marshmallow can't come back. I'm sorry. That marshmallow cannot be revived. That marshmallow is dead. It's dead. It's black as can be. And then you put it in there. And I like to do, and this is fat boy stuff, Reese's peanut butter cup. Just me. I like a little peanut butter in there. And this is a little bit nutty. Not super nutty, but it has a little bit of that peanut, like the peanut, the red husk on top of the peanut. It has a little bit of that in there. Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's literally a tinkle, really. There's literally nothing left. And just smelling this glass is, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So would I tell you to look for, I'm going to look at it again. Wollersheim Distillery. Absolutely. Do I regret only buying the Cedar Ridge? No. Because Cedar Ridge is amazing, right? But if there's any more Wollersheim, I might be doing it. I'm on a budget. We're trying to come back to work and we're trying to do the things, but this one to me, it's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying for a Midwest whiskey because I have nothing to base it off of, right? Because Midwest whiskeys are their own thing, like Texas whiskeys are their own thing. But at the same time, my daughter is. I know. I'm throwing this out there. My daughter is waiting in line to take her driver's test. Yeah, this is the thing. So if any of you who have a daughter who is in the age of getting a driver's license is is out there, you know my anxiety right now. I pray for her to do good. She's an excellent driver. She really is. Um, I don't like driving with her because I'm dad. I'm the dad, and it sucks. I don't want my little baby who used to dance around in a tutu to be out there driving with all these maniacs on the road. I mean that's just dad notes. Um, Getting back to the whiskey, if you can find this, pick it up. Visit Wisconsin. They have actually quite a few distilleries. Um, Go visit these guys and pick up a bottle. That's all I can say. It is so unique in its flavor profile. Like I'm used to Texas whiskey, which is harsh and brash and delicate at the same time. So it's like a punch in the face, but then they hug you afterwards. It's like one of those, like an abusive husband. Like I beat the crap out of you and then I love you afterwards. That's what Texas whiskey is. This is more like it's like, hey, come over here. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on? We're in the hayfield. Let's go. I'm sorry. I sound like a redneck when I say that, and I'm not trying to. God, editing me is going to suck at this. Anyway, Wollersheim. Did I get it? Wollersheim. I freaking done. I nailed it. Wollersheim. And look, I still have that much of a sample left. I might sample this out to somebody that wants to try it. It's amazing. Please go get some. And I thank you to all of the patrons. If you want to support this podcast, I have a podcast too, obviously. If you want to support anything we're doing, go to patreon.com/the Whiskey Shaman. Let me see if I can find it. It's right there. Patreon.com/Whiskey Shaman. If you need to contact me, it's at whiskeyshamanpodcast@gmail. Thank you to my sponsors, Bad Motivator Barrels and Z.Smith Whiskey and Mixology. Thank you so much. And as you well know, I would love for you to follow, like, subscribe, do all the things you have to do. Go get you some Midwest whiskey. Seriously, this Lost Lantern crap, they're doing big things. And I love them for it. And until next time, keep your spirits up.